All right, we're going to start with some calculator work. A couple things that you need to realize about the calculator. If we pick some ugly fraction, let's use 59 divided by 7. And I get 8.42, blah, 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 blah. The calculator will display all those digits. Now, those are two values for what represents the same thing. One is 59 sevenths, the other is 8.42, yada, yada, yada. The fractional part is the exact value. Even though the calculator is displaying a whole bunch of decimal places, that's not the exact answer. The calculator chops off a lot, but it does have the rest of that number in its memory. It can only display so many numbers. What we want to be able to do is to work with 59 sevenths without having to type in 59 sevenths over and over again. So we're going to talk about the store function on the calculator. So if you look above your keys, you have the entire alphabet on your calculator. You see A through Z on there. You can store stuff into any one of those letters. It's entirely up to you. However, there is an easy button that you can use where you don't have to go into a letter every time, and that's the button in the upper left-hand corner. It says X, T, it's got a little circle thing on it and an N. Find that button? Everybody got it? It's right here. It's below the word link. X, T, that's a theta and N. That's there to that's designed to be just a variable key. And most of the time we're going to end up storing things into X. So I'm going to use that button first, and then I'll show you how to use a different letter. I'd like to take this number and store it. However, your calculator already has a number stored, so let's see what your number is. If there's a number stored in X, and if your calculator is brand new, we'll see what the number is. If your calculator is old, it'll have some weird number in there. But over on the right-hand side, there's a button that says STOW on it. Did you find that? Yeah. Above STOW is RCL, which means recall. So here's what I want you to do. Hit the second button, hit recall, and then hit X.
Where's the X? Is it where it's linked? It says link.
Yeah, below link. And then hit enter. My number is 16.2457781. Does anybody have 0?
When we press enter.
Yeah.
I have an error.
Got an error? That's possible if you have, is that a brand new calculator?
No.
No? Then you might have done something wrong.
Wait, did we call?
Okay, so the number stored in X doesn't matter. We're going to put our own number into X. I'm going to put 59 sevenths into X. So 59 divided by 7, enter. Then hit the store button. And that's what the little arrow means. And now you decide where you want to store it. I'm going to choose to store it into X. Hit enter. It doesn't do anything exciting except tell you what the number is. Now the nice thing about that is anytime X comes up, the calculator is automatically going to put that exact number in there. And that'll save us a whole bunch of time. Okay?
Can you do that in
Sure. Let's pick a different letter. What letter do you want to use? A. And we'll store the number 85. 85, enter, store A. So A is above the math button. So alpha A, enter. But again, most of the time we're going to use X. Question?
Did you do it again?
error? I don't know anything.
I got to recall, then I pressed X, I don't know what to do with it.
Not recall, stow. We're storing now, not recalling.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, so take a number and store it into X. It doesn't matter what number. We'll come around to this in a second. You'll get better at this through practice, because we're going to get into some pretty nasty calculations, and we don't want to have to keep typing in these fractional answers. We want to be able to just reference a stored number. And so we can store up to like 26, 27 numbers in the calculator. We're never going to store that many, but it gives us the opportunity to do that without having to come back and forth with writing big ugly fractions. Okay? And we're going to use that today to solve a nasty system of equations. Any questions? We're good? Everybody can store. Excellent. All right. Let's move on to this then. I'll make that go away, come over here. Okay, let's see. We're gonna solve a system. And, Giselle, do you have any pets at home?
No,
No. Brothers and sisters?
sister.
One sister.
Yes.
How old is she?
She's
Do you like your sister? You can tell us. Ann, all right.
She's okay.
So you don't really like your sister. Okay, by the way, I'm recording this lesson, so now you're in trouble, all right?
It's okay, she knows.
Oh. And if she doesn't, you're gonna tell her when you know. Okay. G, you have any pets at home? What? Wait, I'll come back to you in a second. Pets?
Yeah,
How many?
one.
What is it?
A cat.
How many legs does it have?
Four.
Does it still have its tail?
Yes.
Good. Does it have both its eyes?
Yeah.
And its ears are both functioning?
One of them is like part of it cut off, but it like.
So you have a fractional ear on your cat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's call it 0.
Okay.
So how many legs, tails, eyes, and ears does your cat have?
Wait. I'm sorry, this is funny. Like 10 and a half, or 9 and a half.
That would be 8.
8. Oops. Yeah.
4 legs, 1 tail, 2 eyes, and an ear.
Yes.
Okay. Do you like your cat?
Yeah.
All right. Gee, what's your house number? What's your address?
515.
Ooh, this is gonna get good. All right. Jillian, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
2.
2? You like them both?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Boy and a girl, 2 girls, 2 boys?
2 boys.
2 boys, older or younger?
Younger.
Younger. What grades are they in?
1st and 7th.
1st and 7th. So 1 plus 7 is 8, but we already have an 8 up there, so let's not do that. Let's take their ages and add them together. Yeah,
18.
18, thank you. And Alec, what month were you born in?
January
That's no good, that's too easy. What day of the month?
6th.
I'll come back to you in a second. Leah, what month were you born in?
March.
March. Great, yeah. You like being born in March? Okay. Alec, what year were you born in?
2005.
Oh, boy. I'm not gonna do 2005, that'll kill us. How tall are you?
5'10".
How many inches is that?
10 inches.
No, total.
That's like 7 around 7.
70 inches?
Don't know exactly. I haven't been to the doctor.
We can go with 5'10".
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're gonna solve this system. Now, there's a possibility that those lines could be parallel, right? It's possible. The odds of this being determined by addresses, brothers, sisters, pets, and height is pretty slim. And we won't know until we're done with the problem. This is gonna get ugly, but combined with what you already know about solving systems, and combined with what you just learned about the calculator, it shouldn't be that bad. Okay. Grace, you wanna get rid of the X's or the Y's?
The Y's.
Okay, so if I'm gonna get rid of the Y's, what am I gonna multiply each of these equations by?
You're gonna multiply the top equation by -3, and then the bottom equation by 8.
Perfect. If I lose anybody along the way, please holler, especially when we get to the calculator portion. I would also ask that you do these calculations along with me so that you know what you're doing. Many of these calculations I can do by myself. For instance, I can do -10 times -3, and I can do -8 times, or 8 times -3. I can probably do 515 times 3, which would be 1,545, but you could check my math just to make sure I'm doing it correctly, please. Negative, right, I knew that. I was just testing you. Good job, way to play along. So 18 times 8 would be 144. Confirmation?
18 times 8.
18 times 8.
Yeah,
144, good. Plus 24, this makes me happy because now we're going to eliminate the y's. Good job, Grace. And 560. How am I doing?
Amazing.
Well, it's not amazing, it's just math. I mean, 174x, these cancel, equals negative 985?
Yeah.
Okay. Which means, oh, this is really ugly. Negative 985 over 174.
That can't be simplified.
It cannot be simplified? Oh.
Don't test it.
Okay, we're rolling with it then. So, I got x.
great.
First step on the calculator, store that number into x. And then I'll show you what we're going to do with it in a second. Before I switch over to the calculator screen, I want to make sure that you have that stored into x.
Wait.
Okay, so once again, put the number into the calculator first. So negative 985 divided by 174, enter. What is that as a decimal? Negative 5.2. Okay, then stow, x, enter. Okay, now let's suppose we go back 5 minutes, and when I asked Grace which letter she wanted to eliminate, she said y. If she would have wanted to eliminate x, then I would have had you store that number into y, because that's what we solved for. Conveniently enough, she chose to get rid of y, so we're left with x's. Okay, so you should have that number stored in x, right?
Yes.
Now, if the problem, just like the homework problems yesterday, if it gave us a nice pretty answer of 2, we would just take that number and plug it into one of the equations. So we're going to do that again. However, I'm going to do a little bit of work on the front end to make my life a little bit easier. I don't want to continue to write negative 985 over 174, so I'm just going to call it x. Carly,
Yeah.
you want to plug it into the top equation or the bottom equation? There's no wrong answer. This is how easy this question is.
Bottom equation.
Bottom equation, beautiful. I'm going to do a little bit of work ignoring that ugly number there to make my life easier. I want to solve that bottom equation for y. You've done this before, especially if you can't get rid of the urge to work with slope-intercept form. I'm going to put this in slope-intercept form. Whoops. Let me not do that. 18, no, come on, Rita, you're better than this. 3y equals 70 minus 18x. So y is equal to 70 minus 18x all over 3. I lose anybody, or are we good?
Chilling.
Like a villain? This is important. Put some parentheses in that puppy. It's not important up here. It will be important in your calculator. Okay, so we're good to go, right? Get rid of this. Come over to the calculator. Come here, calculator. There we go. Turn it on. Okay, so I have to do what you already did and store the number. So negative 985 divided by 174. Enter, store, x. Enter. Okay, so that's what you've already done. Then I solved that equation for y. So y equals blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to type that in exactly as it appears. Parentheses, 70 minus 18x, close parentheses, divided by 3. That's what y equals. Not a good answer. However, math, enter, enter. That, oh, God. That's sorry, I threw up a little bit in my mouth. There's our answer for y. 4,985 over 87. But, knowing how to solve the systems,
I got 50.
knowing how to use the calculator, what? You got a different answer? Uh-oh. Can somebody confirm this answer?
I can.
Yeah.
I
Did you include the parentheses?
Yeah,
Did you store the number correctly?
yeah.
Is your calculator broken?
You divide by 3.
Yeah. So hit math. 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 Enter, enter. Shazam! You just gotta convert back to a fraction. Same answer. Okay? We good? Think you can handle this? Awesome. Okay. Day 6 tonight. Sorry, day 7, right?
Yeah.
Day 7, exact same thing we did yesterday, except you're not going to get nice answers. You're going to get answers like this.